So a natural endpoint for the recovery process would be return to work. And when you think about the end of a recovery process, you think in terms of clinically, what's their pain at, where's their strength, what's their functional level, how much swelling do they have, etc. But the problem is that not all of those metrics equate to a successful return to work. So the way I like to think about this is an analogy with tennis court versus a football field. When someone's playing tennis, it's the equivalent of being in the clinic and recovering and trying to get ready for work. If your atmosphere is controlled, like in tennis, you're really just worried about the ball coming back to you. The net is always the same height. There's no defense. You can count on what your own abilities are to return a ball that's hit your way. That's similar to working out in the clinic. Very controlled atmosphere. You're not worried about anybody bumping into you. You're not worried about the floor being more slippery than it should be. When you start to get into a return to work situation where you're actually back in the workplace, it's a lot more variables that you can't account for. Similar to a contact sport where you're worried about maybe some sweat being on the floor, maybe somebody tackling into you, maybe the weather, all things that make it a little less predictable. So the goal here is to maybe try and create a little more of that work simulation in the clinic atmosphere to make sure you're ready to go back to work. So it's not just the clinical metrics, it's really being ready for work, being able to tolerate what might come your way. And oftentimes that means accounting for the unpredictable part of the return to work experience.